In this module, we will create a V-neck shirt with a overlapping front. Now, of course, you can go and create this kind of shape right from the start. But it's a good idea, especially in the beginning when you are still getting a feel for the software, to start with the basic shapes and make them simulate properly first, and then when everything is in position, you can easily go from this shape in any direction that you want and know for sure that the patterns are fitting the avatar properly. Now, first of all, we need to disconnect the seam line in the front, connecting the front patterns. So, if I grab my edit sewing tool and delete the seam line. Now, if I delete the seam line, I see that the overall shape of the front is still a bit off. Of course, I don't need these sharp edges anymore. So, I am going to take my edit pattern tool and simply delete these points. And with my transform pattern tool, I will pull these patterns a bit more just for visibility. Now, I also want to create a bit of an oval shape, and we are going to do that. Let's use the edit curve point tool for this and sort of start with this for now. Since this kind of shirt starts the ruffle up at the end right here, and you can see that the gap in the front is too wide. We can assume that there is more fabric here, so we need to enlarge our pattern so it will have much more fabric that will start to ruffle up as a result, and that will also close up our gap a bit more. So we are going to take our edit pattern tool again, take this point at the bottom end and just prolong the pattern, and let's simulate. And as you can see, we are getting lot more fabric here and it's starting to ruffle up. Also our gap is closing, but I think we can afford a bit more fabric even. So I am going to push this pattern and push the points again with my edit pattern tool. Alright, we are almost there. There is one important thing missing, and that is the overlapping part. We can see that we have the overall shape and we have the ruffles, but the patterns in the front are actually not overlapping. So if I grab my edit sewing tool, you can see that I am not only able to select seam lines or reverse them if need be, but I can also move seam lines like so. You can see I can easily move them around. But in our case, I don't want to move them, but simply make them longer. So I am going to do that with the side. Just going to click the end point, select the seam line and just move it like so. And I am going to do the same for this one. And as you can see, I have created the overlapping effect in the middle with the help of this seam line. It may get a little fuzzy, but it quickly manages to create the effect. And as you can see, this piece of pattern is now in the front and this one is in the back, and everything is overlapping in the middle. Now we can tweak this further if we want, or maybe pull back the fabric in the 3D window to get the effect we wish. And we are already a step closer to the final look. Now in the next clip we will figure out on how to make the details smoother.